So, hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. It is great to see you all. For those of you I can see, and those of you who are still hidden behind your cameras, it is great. You are welcome to the HergenuityAfrika, our monthly entrepreneurs coffee and connect, where we network, we connect, we inspire, we educate, we inform, we influence. And so it is great to see you again this morning. We still have people joining us, but we're just going to start away and take it away. So thank you very much. My name is Toluwani Akahome. I'm the founder and the CEO of HergenuityAfrika. And of course, you know that what we do is all about entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial thinking and business leadership, particularly among females of African descent. And what we seek to do is to promote, is to support, is to encourage entrepreneurship. You know, we think that is the way to go. That is the way for wealth creation. That is the way for job creation among people of African descent. And that is why these networking events are so important and so powerful to helping us forge ahead individually and collectively in the direction that we want to go as entrepreneurs. So I hope that you've been keeping well in spite of everything that's been going on all over the world. We empathize and we stand along with our brothers and sisters in India and all over the world. And we're saying, look, we're going to beat this. We are winning. And that's what is most important. So it is great to see everyone. We're going to kick off not too long from now, but I want to encourage you that I'm going to put the link at some stage here during the course of the meeting we're going to have, this networking event. So feel free to join us, the HGA Business Women's Network, and to consider linking up with business mentors, the advisory panel, to consider generating ideas, other things that we do to ensure that entrepreneurship takes place, and not just entrepreneurship, but business leadership, thriving in our own spaces. So it is great to see you. I see that Pastor Anne has joined the room, has joined us in the room. Ejiro is here, Alexis is here, Confidence, Leila, Lisa of Bluegate Foundation is here as well. Masika Ba, you're welcome. And of course, welcome to me, Toluwani Akahome, as well. So as I said, we have a lot more people joining us, but we're going to take it off straight away. And I want to say that just after this introduction, there will be Lisa coming in on. Lisa Papa is the founder of Bluegate Foundation. She's doing amazing work in Africa, and she's looking to share her vision with us, to share what she is doing for the next 10-15 minutes, share with us the amazing things she's doing. I like to call it amazing because it's altogether awesome and amazing. And that is what makes me so glad to be an African woman. When I see the ingenuity of the African woman, the creativity, the resilience, the astuteness, all the brilliance that we bring into everything that we do, it just blows my mind. And I always say, this is what it is to be African, because being African is a phenomenon. You just have to, you have to learn it. It's not something you just know. You have to study it. So it is great to see all the things that you're doing, Lisa, and not just Lisa, but everyone in the room, and to Alexis as well. So after Lisa, then we're having Alexis come on. Alexis is going to be talking about ready to reopen. So as we're opening up here in Ireland and other places globally are opening up to business, we want to talk about business continuity. We want to talk about all of those tools, those strategies, those actions that we take to ensure that we maximize the benefits of post-COVID. We see them and we maximize them. So it is great to see you. If I could kindly at some stage ask you to please show us your faces so that we can take photographs together, or just to engage with you, because the whole thing about being here on Zoom is that we can see your faces as well, because we can't see each other physically, so we might as well see each other face to face. So please don't hide behind the cameras unless you absolutely have to. And of course, there is Ejiro. Yes, so please just don't hide behind your camera. Just step into the room powerfully with your beautiful African faces, and God bless you. So we're going to take it away right now. I'm going to call Lisa to please step up there into the virtual platform and share with us. So it's great to see you, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, and your mics are muted if you're not speaking. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me now?
Absolutely, we can hear you, Lisa.
Okay.
Take it away.
Okay. So I'm not good with this. All right. Can you see my profile?
I think you have another device on that you need to mute so that we can hear just you on one device. Thank you, Lisa.
Is that okay? Can you hear me now?
That's perfect. We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Hello, ladies. My name is, can you hear?
We can hear you, Lisa.
Yeah, okay. My name is Lisa Papa, and I'm originated from Liberia, and my spouse is from Nigeria. And I'm the founder. I'm not really a good talker anyway. So I'm the founder and CEO of Bluegate Foundation. Like you can see on the screen, we're just a small non-profit organization here in UK.
Lisa, if I may ask, do you want to put it on slideshow? So we can see bigger to see bigger on the screen.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sorry about that.
That's so. No, if you go to slideshow up there.
I've done it. I'm trying to.
Get your rest going on your space.
All right. Can you say it now?
Yes, we just want it bigger. So if you go to slideshow up there on your screen, you see the menu there. After home, further down, after animations, you see slideshow.
Okay. Is it big now?
So you go to home. You see where you are highlighted, home?
Yeah.
Okay, so just go down, further down to slideshow, just after animation on the screen there.
Don't mind me. I'm not good with this.
That's okay. So if you just where are you now? Where is your cluster?
Let me start from the beginning. Sorry.
Okay. You're right on track. There's nothing to start. You're right on track. All you need, yes, just take your cursor up. Just move it up.
Okay.
Up. Move it down just slightly. Yes, so go to your right. Your right. Go on. Keep going. Oh, that's no. The other side. Yes, keep going. Keep going. Yes. Keep going. Yes, stop there. No, too fast. Yes, just there. Click on that.
Yeah.
Yes, and then go from current slide. No, current slide. From current slide. The next one. No, go back. Go back. Current slide. No, go back. Yes, it's number 2. It's number 2. No, don't go there.
No.
Go back to where you're coming from.
Okay.
Now go to from current slide. There you go. No.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
Yes, that's what we want to see.
Okay, I'm getting there.
Yeah, that's why we want women to share their slides before the actual day.
I know, it's just I've been so busy.
That's okay,
Sorry.
So there we go.
Yeah, this is my little world.
That's good.
And my name is Lisa, anyway.
Fantastic.
Okay, and we're just a very small non-profit organization here in the UK. In UK, we only deal with men, the destitute, and the homeless men. Like today, I've been so busy cooking. I've done loads here. I'm going to leave you people early to go and give them their food. It's already there. I've been cooking since yesterday. So then in Africa, in Nigeria, we have 3 places, 3 states where we empower the women and the girls, then and the street children mainly, and the orphans. So, and that's it. Sorry, I'm always 24/7. And our aim is just to relieve unemployment by training them skill acquisition and providing education for the different ones, little ones and their parents. And these are my little favorite. These are my lovely kids. I love them to bits. And we take care of them. They're all, what's it called? Street children, and they're orphans. At the moment, we're trying to see if we can find them somewhere. You know, sorry, can I just mute you for 1 minute? 1 second, please. Until I will see her 1:30. Sorry. So then these are the kids. They are vulnerable, no parents, nobody to look after them. So they are under my care in the northern part. So we look after them, we take them to school in a very small place. We enroll them to just know how to speak Makarata, which is English. And these are my women. We look after them. In this community, they marginalized them. There is no light, no education, no health service. Where they're coming from, that is in Dukasuru village. So I was able to speak to the emir to see if they could be able to allow them to have a school for the kids, because at the age of 12, they start getting them married. So, but the emir then, the previous emir, was saying, it's not all about building a school, it's all about using the facilities that they've got to empower themselves. So we were able to negotiate with the Mingwa of that community, and they were able to release the only church that was built by them, by I think one charity in France or something, I don't know. So yeah, that's that one for them. So we teach them how to make different kinds of things, and as well we teach them how to speak English, the basic one, good morning, you know, in order for them to be able to communicate among themselves. So, sorry. These are the homes for the less homeless and street children who has nowhere to stay. With my own foundation, I'm not allowed to build anything for anybody in any state. So only what we're allowed to do is whatsoever the facility they've got is for us to like make it easier for them and make it comfortable for them. Apparently this shelter given to them, I tried to negotiate with the owner of the shelter, but the person said no, excuse me, that we shouldn't renovate his house for him, that the only thing he can allow us to do is to tidy up the place for them. So we were able to organize my lovely 3 volunteers to tidy up, the swept. You could see the place is so bad. So the little things we can do for them, we did by putting mats, because we can't put mattress on the floor, because in this place, in this little hut, there are almost like 70 in this little, some sleeps outside. You see, so but with this one that we found, we were able to make it nice for them and for them just to have a good sleep. And these children in here, there are 173 kids that we are looking after, street children in Kano State. We feed them hot meal 2 times in a week, because there is so many in my hands that I can, I plan to give them 1 week, every week, but unfortunately I can't. So we can only afford 2 days in a week for them. So, yeah. And this is, sorry, these are the village, Dukasuru village, the children. These are the, what's it called? The church that was built for them by a charity, I think from another country, I don't know. So we were able to discuss with them. So we talked to their parents to allow their kids to come and learn to read and write the basic. So these are the kids. So what we did was to give them exercise book, pencil, all the stationaries for them to use. And we teach them English. Like everything is in my Facebook or in my WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, in my Facebook and Instagram. So if guys can go there and just say, and I'm so happy, it makes me feel happy anytime they're teaching them, you know, everything. I'm so happy. Now the communities have decided, we joined hands with the community to build them like 3 rooms. So it's still, they're still doing it before this pandemic happened. So remaining to roof, then furnish, you know, furnish their things for them. So that's them. Those are my children. As I don't have much, so God bless me with so many kids. I love them to be. And yeah, what we want the world to know and think about our organization. Service users, our audience are the service users. What they need to know, what we offer them, how to access our services. We provide useful, practical information and support. We put services users first and value their opinions. We are trustworthy and reliable. We give everyone a voice and we keep it human. And our supporters, we only have the ability to make changes. Our supporters, if our supporters can help us. So we need people to support us by any donation, either by food, mainly material. We're not into financial, but if my main problem is food, because that is what the world wants now. They can have something to eat. If I tell you, I've got lots of barrel here full of food. Problem is to shift it, but because of this COVID-19, you can see my house is upside down. It's my warehouse, it's my office. So there's loads of things to ship to them. So yeah, that's it. And we're moving down. Like throughout, I was unable to get to Mr. Luane because I have been so busy with Sierra Leone, my one town. So we are planning in Sierra Leone to deal mainly with the widows because they are really suffering. They're suffering. When I'm saying suffering, they're suffering. At the age of 12, 13, they're hanging around, prostituting and all those things. So we're set to start it by the grace of God next month. So I have gotten all my volunteers. I just receive their attestation because I cannot have a volunteer without attestation. So I must have all the attestation, all their details, everything before we start. So by the grace of God, by next month, we are heading to Sierra Leone because I lost one of my manager in Liberia. So, and because of that, I stopped in Liberia because we have the facility of guns. So anybody can own guns. So they went and shot him thinking there is money with him. So I said, let me relax a little bit with Liberians, then go to my great mother's town, which is Sierra Leone. We must start there, and I'm so happy, so glad to give to them over there. And that's it. Thank you for listening. I'm always I'm not good with all this. Please bear with me, please. And this is me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Thank you for sharing the awesome work that you're doing in different parts of Africa, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Nigeria. Well done. I'm happy to see that you're not leaving the men behind as well, that the women and the men also are being catered to. So well done. So does Ejiro has a question for you. So Ejiro, over to you, please.
Oh, no, it wasn't a question. I was just giving her a hand. But
acknowledging,
well done.
Okay.
Well done for that. And thank you for your work that you're doing in Africa. Much needed. So well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So what Lisa is asking us to, what she's asking us to support her with are those things like clothings that we have. Thank God Pennies is open now. So we can go there and buy underwears, stuff like that. And Lisa will definitely be linking up with me and I would be sharing information for those who have something to donate. So nothing is too small, nothing is too big. Beddings, underwears, socks, shirts, whatever you have, both men and women, and also food. Food is very important. Remember the last time we had our networking session, which was last month, remember we had the Champions Mall, the director of Champions Mall, he did a presentation. He made a presentation to us, and it was about a fact that you don't actually even need to ship food, as it were. You can actually buy those food on Champions Mall, right? And then you put in the address, and then it's delivered to whoever you want. So all you need to do is make your purchase on Champions Mall, and then you put in the right address, and then it's delivered to whoever you want them to deliver to. So if you wanted to do that as well, that is great, because all you need to do is just buy. We'll share with you Lisa Papa's details, and then those items of food can be delivered at her door. And also the clothing, I'm sure there are people that do courier services that will be affordable enough for us to be able to support Lisa with that. Am I correct in what I'm saying, Lisa?
Yes, you're correct. Thank you very much, because
Is
that
that
is actually what we need. I always tell people it's not about money. If you want to give me money, just use that money to buy what it's worth and give to us to give to them. I don't like hoarding money. So, and the moment they get it, there will be video for you guys. There will be, so that everybody will see what has been delivered for them. So yeah, because what we do is when we get it, we split it into 3 places, because we have the eastern part, I don't know, is it the western, in Para State, then in the northern part. So the northern part is where my head office in Nigeria is. So the moment the goods lands there, they will snap the picture, everything, without not opening it. As it landed from the airport, they will send it to me, then I'll forward it to you guys. Then when they take it to the women, as they're sharing it, you have to record it, so evidence will be given to you guys. So yes, please, anything you give to us, nothing is so small. Every little help counts for these poor people. I don't have much, it's only single-handedly. My friend that is assisting me, she's in Afghanistan, but we can't go to Afghanistan because of this issue. So their area is being suspended, because I was interrogated by the HM that why am I dealing only with the Muslims, and why am I heading to the, Afghanistan, which is, I know they have civil war, and I have to tell them, it's my charity. What I do with my charity, nobody tells me. So it's my money. So anything I want to do with my money, you don't tell me. So this kind of a thing is very, very significant for we people that does charity, to watch our back anytime we're doing something. Thank you, Mr. Luani, for
Thank you
bringing
so
me
much,
down
Lisa.
to your place.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate you sharing
Thank you.
what you're doing. I think Alexis has something to say to you.
Lisa, I just wanted to give you some encouragement and to tell you not to be afraid to handle money, because of the work that you're doing and because of the areas that you're working in, having those financial resources are critical, and also position you and your charity for getting additional support. So don't be afraid to handle and receive money. Maybe it's just a matter of making a mechanism so that you can hold it and you can show the accounting, but there's a lot of UN funding and there's a lot of charity-based funding out of Oxfam, because your boots on the ground, your front line in terms of providing the services, when you can show that financial viability, that makes you a more suitable candidate to get some additional support. So be encouraged. I love the work that you're doing, and I'm looking forward to supporting.
Thank you. I'm
Fantastic.
so grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Lisa will be sharing her details. Well, I have some of her details and she's sharing more. She is on Facebook, Bluegate Foundation. She is on Twitter, I presume, but I know she's on Instagram. So please link up with Lisa and you get the best. So well done, Lisa,
Thank
for
you.
all of the things that you're doing. So moving on, before we move on to Dr. Alexis Amaye, I want to ask, is there anybody that wants to share about their COVID experience in business. I see Evelyn is there. Evelyn had this big virtual party last month. No, the 1st of May. She had this big virtual 50th party, and it was amazing. So Evelyn, shall I say happy birthday again?
I'm 50 plus 2 months, 2 weeks old.
Wow, that is significant. Wow.
Yes.
You know, and I will say is a wow-woo moment.
Do you know I've registered for COVID? I'm an elder now. Well done to everyone that's
wow-woo. That's great. You know, it's about owning it. You know, you're wearing it so brilliantly, so gracefully, and that is what it's about. So well done, sis.
Absolutely.
And,
thank you.
many more in advance. You know,
thank you.
Thank you so much in Jesus' name. So, anybody wants to share the COVID experience before we bring Dr. Alexis Amaye on? What has been your learning, your greatest learning in this COVID time? Matthew Danasi is in the room as well, and Jolene is also in the room. Welcome, ladies. Anybody wanting to share? Those hiding behind their cameras. The only person actually permitted to hide that I permit to hide behind the camera today, and I'm not going to use hide for her to be behind the camera, is Confidence. Every other person, I don't get it. I don't get it. If you're looking as beautiful as I am, why don't you flaunt it? I mean, you know.
Even if you look weird.
Weird. An African woman can never look weird.
Okay, let me try
innate beauty. It's inherent. We are born with it. How can you look weird when you're born to be brilliant?
My dada is scattered.
You said it. We didn't say it. We don't even see it.
Fair enough.
That's your Irishness. Fair enough. You say it like that. She's so Irish right now, which is great. So you're Black and you're Irish. And there is Beatrice in all her glory.
I'm doing laundry, that's why, sorry.
Yeah, that's what it's about. We're actually considering maybe shifting the time to a later time, maybe next month, make it, because we see that a lot of our women have things to do, one thing or the other. Sometimes, I don't know, but let me hear your feedback about changing the time to maybe 2 o'clock or something like that. I really like that feedback. Okay, I'm loving Ejiro's hair as well. I know she probably doesn't want me to say anything. Okay, so let me share my COVID-19 learnings. It's been a brilliant time, particularly this year, of learning for me. I'm learning so much in terms of I'm reading, well, apart from PhD, which is learning in itself, is the learning in business. I'm learning so much about rebranding my business, rebranding myself. And I'm learning so much also from other entrepreneurs about managing larger businesses, being on boards, non-executive boards, and doing so much, in terms of coaching leaders and execs. So there's been a lot happening in my space. And so I was very happy to have Jolene, who is my PA, on board, come and join me, because Jolene has been such a fantastic, she's actually in the room. Jolene Qwerty is actually based in Ghana. And because I saw that there was so much going on in my space during COVID, it was actually meant to be like, okay, we're not moving, but even without moving from place to place, we're actually more busy than we have been. So I had to bring Jolene into my team, and Matty Danasi as well into the team to support the work that I do. So I want to thank these two ladies. I'm going to introduce Matty Danasi actually into the platform, because Matty Danasi is our first intern. She's an HR specialist. And even though she's hiding behind the camera, and I'm using the word hiding on purpose, Matty is so brilliant as an HR person. And of course, Jolene as well as an admin support. So thank you, ladies. So I'm actually learning. So much is going in. I'm doing a lot more in terms of working with our people, migrants, particularly African descent, within the community to ensure that we become, we plug into those social economic platforms where we are seeing more growth in terms of accessing the Irish labor market, in terms of business. I'm doing a lot of business mentoring and supporting a lot more people into even thinking about the ideas for their business. So there's a lot going on. I'm not sure in your own spaces as well, there's lots going on as well. And well done to Evelyn as she continues to support 13 groups of younger ladies in the BAME work and Technovation and Phase Innovate projects. So well done to Evelyn. We are looking forward to seeing more awards spilling over on every side in 2021, 2022. Looking forward to seeing more awards from you. I'm actually excited already because I know it's coming. So well done. Great stuff. So
I was just going to say briefly what you said about the COVID thing, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to shout out. I thought the COVID actually opened a lot of doors, not just for my business, but also gave me the opportunity to actually mentor more people. And I'm not just mentoring them just for competition, they're going to be actually entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. So we will be launching about 13 apps in the App Store in the next couple of months, and it's going to be going global by God's grace. So I thought it's a huge thing, and if not for the COVID, I probably will still be doing it in a very small way and all that, But it gave me enough time to actually work with girls, and the girls I'm working with now, they are so passionate, and a lot of companies are coming on board to see how they can also support them. So I think it's a good thing. Well, COVID is bad, but I'm just.
Yes, no, I get it. I mean, it's what we're taking out of it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
That people have seen the benefits of it. Some people have actually found new jobs within COVID because now there's remote working from home. So which would have happened, a lot of women before, because of family situations and the distance from their houses, they couldn't make it to work. But now with COVID, they can access jobs, opportunities that they wouldn't have dreamt about in a million years.
Absolutely.
So we've actually seen what we call the blessings of COVID, in spite of the sorrows and the challenges. So we do admit that it's been very tough for a lot of people, for a lot of countries, but we also thank God for the blessings that we've had from COVID in our individual lives. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we're moving on. I am delighted, absolutely honored to welcome Dr. Alexis Abaye. I like to stress doctor because I know that it took her a lot to get that doctor, as even Evelyn, who's on a PhD program, can also testify, myself as well. It is back-breaking work. Sometimes you wonder, who sent me on this journey?
Honestly, I would say, God, I never get book rich.
Exactly. You're like, who sent me on this journey, Lord? There's so many other things to do. Why a PhD again? Well, it is what it is. So Dr. Alexis Amaye brings over 15 years of management experience working across the public and private sectors, both in Europe and the US, with professional and consultative leadership roles in crisis management, strategic development, and program management. She has led cross-functional teams across a number of industries. She has an expertise in operational performance. Her interest in technology use and decision-making was the focus of our PhD in Business Information Systems at University College Cork Business School. So since 2017, she started her company, Free to Transform, where she supports organizations in leadership development, operational performance, as she also supports them in evaluation management. I'm also always so glad to talk to Alexis because she's a mine of information. She's a brain in so many areas. And I'm happy that in different things, we have seen ways we can collaborate because our skill set and our businesses actually overlap in so many areas. So we see opportunities for collaboration. And it is the way to go, ladies. This is why we have this network event, so that you can hear other people and see, okay, where are the intersectionalities? Where are the overlaps? Where can we actually come together, follow the guidelines and rules of collaboration, and maximize those collaborative opportunities? So that's the reason for all this, right? Great stuff. So I am really honored. I am pleased to welcome sister, Dr. Alexis Amaye. Please take the virtual floor.
Thank you so very much. That was quite a welcome. I don't know who she was talking about. She said my name, but I'm not sure it's me. And when you said, why do the PhD? Why not you? Why not now? Only 2% of PhD
Absolutely.
holders around the world are Black women. So we need to have that exposure and we need to have that presence in all spaces. So yeah, my name is Dr. Lex. You can just call me
Just
Dr.
before you go
Lex.
on, Ejiro, did you hear that? She was talking to you.
I'm talking to you. And you know what? I'm just gonna. She's shaking her head. No, yes, we're talking to you. Do it while you're young, before the kids get too old, and while you still can read a book. So, I'm looking. I see there's a couple of people. I will echo what Tulani said. Hiding behind the camera for this session to work, because I want it to be an interactive section. I want it to be jam packed. I want it to be informative, but I want it to be applicable to you. For this to work, you're going to need to take off your cameras. If you don't have a lot of noise behind you, also take yourself off of mute, because I want for this to be a conversation. I want this to be an interactive and dynamic conversation. It's not me talking to you, it's about us having a conversation and discussion about the things that we're facing in our business and getting ready to reopen. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my slide deck. As I'm sharing my slide deck, I hope you have your notebooks ready. I hope you have your pieces of paper, your notebooks, your pencils ready, because I hope that you will receive from this something that you can take back to your respective places and put into practice, or just some thoughts that you can consider. I'm going to fire through, but there's going to be opportunities for us to have dialogue and for us to answer some questions, and they're going to be tough questions. So I'd just like to have some guiding principles before we get into this. Can we all agree to take ourselves and be present, be transparent, to take notes, and to participate? Can we all agree to do that?
Yes.
Wonderful. That's the only way this is gonna work, ladies. It's the only way it's gonna work. And I fire
Sorry,
through.
I
So you
remind
hear an
you,
American accent.
sorry to
Mhm.
interrupt you, Alexis. Just to remind people that I'm recording the session, just for you to know. So it's just putting out there, just in case. So as much as you want to share within the confines of the fact that we are recording publicly and we're going to be sharing it.
Definitely, definitely. So this is about getting ready to reopen and understanding business continuity in this post-COVID world. And when we talk about, I loved how we started the conversation around what have we learned from COVID? What has COVID meant for us? The Chinese symbol for disaster is the same symbol that they use for opportunity. And how we view situations like this can determine not only our mental resilience, but our business resilience. So we created, and we're still doing the editing of our training program called Ready to Reopen. And so I'm going to introduce you guys to some of the lessons that we highlighted there, some of the things that you can maybe consider in your own businesses, but then at the end, really come back to action steps, because it's all about action. It's all about activity. And if you saw that COVID found you flat on your face, don't worry. You were with 96% of other businesses around the world that had to close and readjust and pivot to respond to the needs of COVID. But it's about not just taking that pivot, but moving and doing something with it and with that new understanding of the world around us. So with that, let's get started. So let's start first with, what do I mean by organization being resilient? As an organization, it's this ability to not only anticipate, prepare, respond to, and adapt when changes or disruptions come. And that response is so we can survive and prosper, but so that we can also bounce back better than we were before. So ask yourself, in your business, in your home, in your life, how resilient are you? And as we look at our businesses, to be resilient means that we're considering things like, how are we present as leaders? How are we engaging with the people that are working with us? Whether they're our customers, whether they're our employees, whether they're our collaborators. Do we have processes in place within our organizations that will be able to respond to a change or an unexpected event or a disaster, which COVID has been? Do we have products and services that we can position in front of those changes so that we can respond and build more prosperous and more sustainable businesses. So ask yourself that question. How resilient are you? Don't worry about answering it. We're going to get to it. So when we're looking at resilience, it's about having strategies, adaptation, agility, robustness. It's knowing that the reality of this world is that all things are uncertain. There is nothing certain under the sun. But when we understand our businesses and we can move away from the things that we usually do when things are going well and be able to adjust and do things when they're not going so well, we can create opportunities to address our problems and our and any issues that we see facing our business. So just real quick, let me just throw it out there to you. When COVID came, were you prepared? Honestly, were you prepared for COVID?
No.
Let's be honest.
No.
No.
Well,
I got one no. Any
well,
other no's?
well,
No.
what? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes or
No.
no? Yes, you were seeing what was happening on the news, but no, in what sense? Tulani, tell me more.
Yes, I was preparing in the sense that at December of the year before, I was already planning to pivot in my business. So kind of like, okay, I want to do something in a different way. So COVID now came to actually confirm that. So I was already working on that.
Okay. Okay. So
And
you were already in that transformation mode for your business.
exactly. I
How,
know. Yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, how about anyone else? Can you honestly say that you were prepared for COVID?
No, I wasn't.
No,
Because
you
I didn't
weren't.
even
Thank
know
you for
what it
that truth
was. So why
space.
should I prepare for what I don't know what it was?
Hello, hello. Anyone else want to give some nodding to that honest statement? Right.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared at all. I mean, in fact, it took us by surprise. I remember before the COVID, I had just done winter collection and winter. I mean, done all my winter wears and all that, and then COVID hit and people were home and you know. I did my supply to the shop and people were just home and nobody was going to the shop to buy,
Right.
you know,
Right.
so I wasn't prepared. Yeah.
Right. I thank you for that honesty. How many of us have big plans for 2020? Right. We were going to change the world. We were going to hit those projections. Right. And so we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And the notion of being resilient means that I can be realistic in that uncertainty. We don't know what it's going to look like, but I can be prepared for it. And I can prepare my business for it. I can prepare my home for it. And I can prepare my mindset for that reality. It's not about knowing everything that you have to do or having all of those plans in place, but it's about having a perspective that's honest and reflective. All things are uncertain. And even in uncertainty, we can have we can create certainty for ourselves by being a little bit more prepared, right? And so this mindset, it boils down to mindset. And I loved how I think it was Charity that was talking about kind of some of the challenges that she's looking at in terms of her own mental health journey. And we've all had those, though I know that I found myself, I'm gonna be honest, not just sleeping more and appreciating the sleep that I got during COVID because I needed the rest, but I found myself, doing other things that were not so healthy. And so I had to do some soul checking and I had to do some soul searching and not just care about my self care, but my soul care. So across industries, whether you were in art and entertainment, tourism, personal services, retail, you saying that you're doing supply chain work, every industry was hit. I had about 60,000 of training and speaking engagements planned out for 2020, completely canceled. Completely canceled. Do you know how hard I worked in 2019 to get that 60,000? And it's not a lot, but it was a lot to me and a lot to my business in terms of where we were trying to go. Restaurants were closed, retail was closed. If you were an educational provider, a daycare service provider, if you had a sports gym, all of those things were closed. So when we're looking at COVID, we're not looking at it from the perspective of, oh, I wasn't hit. No, how was my business hit? How was I impacted? And how did it affect me? And so we have this ability, and still, while it's still fresh, because this is one of the things that I do. Oh, goodness gracious. My buttons just got the best of me. Let me put my video back on. This is one of the things that I do with businesses is we sit back and we ask those questions. We ask those tough questions that we don't really want to ask. Did this run through your mind? When will my customers return? Will I get my customers back? Did you ever think about that? Did that come across you? Mm-hmm. If I'm a part of the supply chain, or if I'm relying on a supply chain, how reliable is it? If I had a business front and a brick and mortar business, how much inventory should I have there? If you've got employees or if you've got volunteers, how did you keep track of them? If you've got women working in your shop or women working around you, were you considerate of those childcare facilities? What were some of the questions that were running through your mind as you were, going through COVID and pivoting and now thinking about reopening your business?
To be fair, or to be honest, can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh yeah. So I guess I probably wasn't thinking about all that. I was thinking about how it's affected me, directly, immediately. I'm looking at my immediate surroundings and all that. I'm not looking at the ripple effects.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at, okay, there's something. I was gonna start building my property before it started, before COVID started, but everything had to be put on hold. I actually got funders from America that was going to invest in it, but they all froze.
Yeah.
Didn't want to invest anymore. Yeah. So this is like 1 year plus going on. So that would have negatively affected some big aspect of my life. But everything I was thinking about is just me. The price of building has now gone up. Mm-hmm. So that would be the ripple effect that it has. But I suppose because I know it's a general thing, it's not really affecting me that much. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at the immediate thing. That was why I spoke about the girls that I thought has impacted their life. They're now entrepreneurs, and but there are other aspects, obviously, there are other aspects. But I just felt it's a general thing, so I just let it be.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, Evelyn, because there's the immediate impact, but then there's the long-term impact. And business continuity is thinking about both of those things. It's thinking about immediately when a disruption or an interruption occurs, what do I do? But then I'm also considering what are going to be the ripple effects if I can't open within 6 months, if I can't open within 1 year, if I've got to adjust my business. There are going to be immediate things that I need to do, whether it's calling suppliers, whether it's calling insurance providers, whether it's getting in contact with my staff, getting into contact with my funders. But then the ripple things, those things that we may have had in our long-term plans and our medium-term plans, they're going to be adjusted. Mm-hmm. So business continuity is stepping back and saying, from an objective perspective, what are the most immediate things I need to take care of? But then what are also some things that are also in the periphery that I need to be mindful of? And stepping back and looking at it from a very objective perspective. There's a saying that you can't see the picture when you're in the frame, and many of us were in the picture. And so what I'm asking of you is to step back far enough to ask yourself these things. And when we look at resiliency, it's not just the people, the products, and the processes, but how we prioritize the things that matter. And I will tell you that business continuity, emergency preparedness, public health, these things aren't important until they're made important by the situations that we have to face. So some people say, oh, well, it's not good to think about those negative things. No, it's realistic to think about contingencies. And it's realistic to think about, what will I do if I can't get access to my suppliers? What will I do if shops close? What do I do? So the essential functions of our business, the things that get us paid, the things that allow us to deliver our goods and our services to our customers, that is the most immediate focus. So you got to know what your business is. You got to know what your business does on a day-to-day basis. Because if you're going to have to stop business today, Or you're going to have to stop business tomorrow and you have no idea as to what the most important or the essential functions of your business are. You position yourself to be in shock mode and to be in reactionary mode and to spread yourself way too thin on things that don't matter. So in business continuity, we look at things like doing a risk assessment, knowing what those threats are, knowing what the potential hazards are. For all of us right now, it's COVID and responding to this post-COVID situation. But it goes back to understanding those essential functions of our business and being able to analyze and to assess the impact that those hazards have on us fulfilling our business obligations, right? And so there's a couple of tools that we do to do that, and then I'll share the slides with Tulani. And I'm just going to encourage you to consider writing things down. That's one of the biggest challenges that entrepreneurs have. Writing down what you're doing, making a process map, making it clear so that people can pick it up and run with it, but writing things down so that you can be organized. And when we're looking at it from this perspective of understanding what are my essential functions, what are the top 5 things that I need to do to keep my business afloat, then I'm able to step back and say, okay, what are the steps involved in that? What are the time frames that I need to be mindful of? What are my obligations? Are they contractual obligations? When I told you I had 60,000 worth of training business that was already signed and contracted, I'm thinking that these businesses were going to abide by the contract and they would pivot to remote locations or to virtual events. That wasn't the case. And sometimes those contracts went out the window, but that didn't change the fact that I still needed to produce proposals and I still need to position myself out there. So by knowing what those essential functions are, you're able to then step back and say, okay, if a fire happens, if COVID happens, if there's a cybersecurity breach on my server, if that happens, what do I do? What's the probability? What's the impact? And how do I adjust myself accordingly, right? And so there's a number of tools that we use to do that. And I talk about it more in my training, but I just wanted to highlight it there. And I just wanted to highlight that in your own businesses, you were talking earlier, I think your name is Lisa. You were talking about having to adjust yourself because things are happening in Afghanistan or things are happening in Liberia. So you're going to have to be able to pivot according to security issues. So all of those things, they're going to have a consequence in terms of the timing, but they're going to also have a consequence in terms of the impact to your actual business operations. And it may not just be lost in sales or income. It could be lost in increased expenses because you now have to hire security services. Or for you, Evelyn, if you get a breach, it could be the increase in having to get cloud services or having to get, redundant servers in order to respond to that. And so when we're stepping back from our business, when we're stepping out of that frame, out of that picture and looking at the frame, we're asking ourselves, what's the most essential things? How do I make sure that they're done? Meaning, have I written down what needs to be done? And how am I going to execute them in a prioritized manner? Because not everything is going to be immediate. There are going to be some things that are going to be more immediate than others. And so we have to know those things about our business. And when we're talking about business continuity, it takes us to the second lesson, which is what's the heartbeat of your business? Why are you in business? What's your why? Real quick, I'm gonna just do a quick round robin. Lisa, what's your why? Why are you in your business?
Yeah, I'm in my business just to help the people, help the poor.
To help the poor. Evelyn, why are you in your business?
I guess it's to discover the creativity and technology entrepreneurship potentials in people, particularly girls and women.
Okay. Next up, I don't know who that is on the camera, but she's got beautiful hair on a pom-pom and a beautiful blue comber there. What's your why? Why are you in your business?
I like all the beautifuls. Thank you very much. My name is Beatrice. I actually got involved in my business because I'm interested in financial inclusion for women and women starting their own businesses, harnessing the online space. But the last lesson you just did there, I'm asking myself questions because it's not working, but I will come into that in a second. So
absolutely.
It's
But that's your why though.
Yeah, it
Fulani, what's your why?
Okay, I'm muted. So I help leaders build better, greater, more inclusive organizations.
That's your why. Okay. Post-Ann, what's your why? If you're unmute, I'm going to come to you. So you might as well
All
unmute
right.
yourself.
Yes. So I'm in business because I personally just feel that Africa is so full of creativity, and with I can create phenomenal fashion for Africans. I mean, from children to adults. So that's why I'm in business, to redefine fashion in Africa.
Wonderful. Next, I don't see the names there, but I see a white door behind you. What's your why?
Hi, my name is Atineke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I help ladies in corporate world to understand that they can have both worlds of entrepreneurship as well as have a successful career and create multiple sources of income streams. So that's my reason. I want every woman to be able to do whatever they want to do in life.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's a good why. Give me another why, ladies. What's another why?
There are a few people here. There's
Okay.
here.
Yeah, I'll go with my why. I believe I have a gift and I want to influence the world when it comes to mental health, especially in the Black community.
Absolutely. And our whys are going to be the heartbeat of our business. So that when we face interruptions, when we face disruptions, when we face things that look like COVID, we can go back to that why, right? And if COVID didn't teach us anything, it's to dig deeper on why we're doing the things that we're doing. When everything else is failing around us, why are we committed? So the second lesson in being ready to reopen is knowing what's the heartbeat of your business. How are you connecting the work that you're doing and the impact that you want to make on the people around you? Is it reflective in your ethos? Is it reflective in your mission? Is it reflective in the way that you bring value to the marketplace? And that value can be social value, it can be environmental value, it can be personal value. But how are we connecting the reason why we're doing our business with how our business looks to the world around us, right? So there's a story behind that. And when we talk about things like our brand, our passion, our intention, they're all connected to that, right? And it doesn't matter how things change around us if that why is a deeper calling, is a passion that's embedded in who we are. It allows us to face adversity with clarity and sense of purpose. Am I right or am I right? Right?
Spot
Okay.
on. Spot on.
So when we're looking at, that the heartbeat of our business, we got to be secure in things like our business model. And our business model for a lot of entrepreneurs, they just woke up one day and said, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go about doing it. I'm going to go find a client. I'm going to see if it works. And then after I see if it works, I'm going to keep building. But again, even from a business continuity perspective, many people are working with businesses and have a way of creating a business, but they haven't planned to make a profit. And if you're not planning on making a profit or planning to make money or planning to make impact in your business, what are you in business for? You just call it a glorified hobby and you can give it a different perspective. But if we're in business, we've got to look at the way that we do business. We got to consider what are the products and services that we're taking to the marketplace. Who are we taking them to? What they talk about now, we back in the day, in the good old days, you used to call it who's your customer, and then they started to talk about who's your user profile, and now they're talking about your avatar. But basically, who is your ideal customer that's going to see the value in what you're taking to the marketplace and meet you there? What is the problem that you're solving for that customer? How are you reaching them? If you're talking about, building platforms and engaging with young people Are you in the spaces where you can attract those young people? Are you in the spaces having dialogues with the potential funders for those opportunities? So it's not just about knowing who the customer is, but knowing how are we getting to that customer, and what are the associated costs and expenses that we are engaged in as we're building our businesses, right? So this consists of two parts, and I like to make things simple. Your business model is basically, what are the activities that are associated with you making or doing something? And then what are the activities that are associated with you selling that something? And sometimes they meet nicely, and sometimes they don't. But you got to know what they are. And I can't make those claims for you. You know, if you're doing a charity, it's going to be different. If you're doing a nonprofit, if you're going to do, it's going to be different. If you're doing a business, it's going to be different. But we all have to have a game plan from which that we're building our businesses, right?
Can
And
I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, because you're just about moving away from the business model, if you don't mind going back there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I happen to teach this to the young girls that I mentor, you know, the business model and all that. But I know what I do mainly, I do it for, I'm just talking about me now, because I'm looking for some sort of advice. I'll put it that way. So I do it out of charity in my head. Do you know what I mean? I do it. I don't charge them a dime. I just do it because I love doing it.
Yeah.
But I know I have my own different business, and I know this takes about 80% of my time.
So how do you bring value to your time?
Absolutely.
You know,
but because yeah, I'm just, you know, opening up to you now.
Absolutely.
It takes about 80% of my time, because you see, as I'm here with you, even though we're not doing competition, I am still supporting them. I'm replying WhatsApp messages, and you can see my head moving up and down. You know, I'm still doing a lot of mentoring, but I do this out of, I'll say, goodwill.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm also thinking, what would be I teach my girls, whoever I mentor, how to monetize stuff.
Where are you monetizing?
Yeah.
And so you've got to ask yourself, what I love about businesses that we do out of goodwill, they can become catalysts for businesses that will be financially viable because of our goodwill that we're putting into it, and the goodwill that we can propel in the hearts of other people, like funders. So how can you create that goodwill operation so that you can get investors to back it, to at least value your time and support you in that capacity building? How can you get organizations to also tap into that? Can you give them and again, you know, this is something that we can share offline, but when we're creating that business model, even charities are having to look at this business model notion, because we need money to run the operations.
Continuity.
We need resources to run operations. And those resources, honey, your time is a resource, and your time has a cost, because the time that you're putting into that charitable activity, you're taking away from other things. You're only one person. And if you're telling me 80% of your goodwill efforts are going in just appreciation and acknowledgement, you're going to burn yourself out in the long run. And your heart is going to be affected, because you're doing it out of the compassion that you have for changing women in STEM. There's so many opportunities out there to even just tap into, whether it's in the form of a proposal or in the form of offering an investment pitch, where you can now create monetization for your activities in a different way, where you're not necessarily charging your target customer, but being able to identify how much is the cost in terms of delivering that service, and who can now position themselves to fund that cost. But you got to really sketch out what is, it's not so much because I've seen your business at work, you know, and you've got the infrastructure in place, you've got the systems in place, you've got the processes in place, you've got yourself in place, but you're just one person. And if you're doing this all at your own expense, you know, you're not going to see the business scale, and you're not going to see it reach its fullest maximum potential, you know? So it's about even reimagining how can I take this thing that I'm passionate for and build a model for it to be positioned for success and growth, right? And for you, it may be more partnerships, not
You
the
see,
partnerships that are just nodding partnerships, but those partnerships that are like, look, there's a cost to delivering this support. Can you fund it?
yeah,
Can you fund
absolutely.
an app? Can you fund the app a development app for one team? This is the cost that it entails, and so now you give somebody something that they can grab onto and say, I'm a sponsor of this team. I can give a mentor for it. I can give the cost around it, and I can now structure it so it can propel itself. Does that make sense, Evelyn?
That's very helpful. I was thinking, because I was thinking of a different kind of model without depending on other people, without depending on other people.
Absolutely.
Now, I was going to look at the legality of my thought process. I was thinking, there are a couple of, apps. The majority of the ideas probably would have come from me, but of course, with the young people that I deal with. Now, maybe I put them in competitions and all that, to get the names out there, to get the name of the app out there. But at the same time, maybe to strike a deal in terms of, okay, because I'm a software developer, I'm a software engineer, I develop them. What they do while they're doing the app stuff, it's an easy application that could make young people learn. Absolutely. But when it now comes to the nitty-gritty of actually developing it, I take charge.
Do you get? And you can package that. There's so many ways that you can package that. Can you take what you do with your girls, or what you do in terms of bringing value to the marketplace, and make it into a training program, so that other people that are curious about doing these types of systems or doing these types of projects can now have the tools to do it? Can you build it in a way where you possibly are creating a platform to launch those apps and now able to monetize that? Because IP, and this is another thing that we need to consider, there are different forms of making income and bringing value to our business. Intellectual property, branding, trademarking, that adds value to our products and our services. That adds value to our business. Now, when we get ready to go and look for funders and look for investment and look at the banks and reach out for those loans, we can say, I'm cash rich because I've valued my business enough to register it, to register the products and the services that we have, to put a trademark behind it. And so I've created IP, I've created a digital asset or a digital product that can be valued in the marketplace.
And can I just step in here? Can I just step in here, Alexis? And this is the reason why HergenuityAfrika has you as one of our mentors. And so Evelyn can link up with you afterwards for talking more about this, because I know that Evelyn probably has a lot more questions than we have time to handle, because looking at the time now, you have just about 7 more minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna fire through, y'all. I'm gonna fire through.
Yes. So
y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. And again,
we do have just for us to know, HergenuityAfrika has mentors, business advisors, coaches, and all of those people that are there to support you. It's up to you then to avail of these, because you're part of the network. They're open to you, and we can talk more about that afterwards.
Absolutely. I got the time.
Sorry, can I just add something? And this is more for Evelyn, just to add on to what you were saying, Alexis. If Evelyn could also consider her business model to be like what they do in Dragon's Den, whereby she is the dragon behind all these people. So she gets a fortune, or at least a part of the proceeds of those apps. Absolutely. Because she's part of it. So maybe, Evelyn, you could consider, I don't know, watching the program Dragon's Den and see exactly what they do, because I when you said 80% of the time, that hurts, because I'm just
hurt me too.
Yeah, that's a lot. You need to be in it. You need to be in it, and every single thing that comes out of it, your mark and trademark should be on it. So,
and I think that it could actually be one of the key businesses of Faith Innovates. If you have thought very well about the monetization of it, it could actually...
Everything should come from your company, and everyone is a part of it. So you are now officially the dragon.
Absolutely. And you know, and this the point that I want to drive here is that our business models are unique to our businesses.
Yeah.
Everyone's situation is different. But if you don't take the time to step back from the business and say, what are my core products and services? Who am I reaching? What is the cost associated with that? And what's the potential income that I can generate from that? We're doing ourselves a disservice and looking at and we're not treating our businesses as businesses, we're treating them as hobbies.
Mm.
And our hobbies can even become viable businesses if we treat them appropriately. Okay. So I'm just going to move forward and just say to you that if you understand the heartbeat of your business, it's going to allow you to create a personal human connection from what you're doing to what your business is doing. And that connection is going to be more relevant to your customers. It's going to give value to the people that are around you. And it's also going to give you that celebration that you need to know in terms of the kudos so that you can keep propelling forward. This is a business model example, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but starting first from that value proposition, I say start first from your why. Then you can then identify who is this why for?
For, yeah.
What is this why? How am I going to get this why to those people? Right? What are the things that I need in order to deliver that why? Now I'm moving to the left. What are the key activities and key resources I need to have in place so that that why gets to the marketplace? What are the partnerships that I need to rely on or to create in order to execute that? And there's always going to be a cost associated with, but a potential revenue that can be generated from that. So again, these are some things that that I delve into the ready to recover training. But that's something to think about. The third lesson that I want you to take away is that ask yourself, are you being realistic as you're rebuilding your business, as you're pivoting your business, as you're preparing to reopen? There are some real disparities that we need to be mindful of. 60% of businesses that do not open within 5 months of a disaster ending will not reopen. Will not. That number goes up to 92% if you're a minority or women-led business. So the odds may be stacked against you, and there may be risks associated with you being small, but you have something that other businesses don't, which is agility, flexibility, and you can pivot much more quickly the smaller your business is. And so even though there's that financial fragility, there's a real disconnect between what a lot of the government supports that are going out there doing in terms of the need and what they're expecting of us. There's a disconnect between what we have as outcomes and the uncertainties that we're facing. But if we focus again on creating a new normal for our business that recognizes these disparities, that is quicker to move remotely, that is able to forecast a little bit more into the future, and that you give yourself the time and you acquire the skills that you need, you can position yourselves to realistically reopen, right? So that's the third lesson. It means that you're looking at your business from a health perspective. How healthy is your business? Ask how healthy is your body? You know, are you getting your water, your nourishment? How healthy is your business? What are you doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? Are you aware of the employees that are around you? What's driving your business? Is it being driven by your customers, or is it being driven by your strategy? Is it driven because you're comparing yourself to what your competition is doing? Or is it driven because you're focused on creating something new and unique? Is it driven by the lack of capital, or is it driven by you wanting to acquire certain capital? So when we're looking at rebuilding realistically, we're looking at it from a perspective that's focused on our future of our business, that's focused on the finances of our business, and also happiness. How happy are you when you're engaged in your business? And happiness can come from your feedback, how people feel about it, but also can come from, let's be honest, how much income you're able to generate from that business, right? And so when we're looking at this from a small business perspective, you got to be self-determined. And I'm an advocate for being self-determined. It means that you're going to say my business is going to survive by any means necessary, and that I'm going to build wealth in my business that's intergenerational. That's going to be a livelihood for my business. And I'm going to build it in a way where I can access credit and access finance and not be afraid to acquire it, not be afraid to enter into partnerships and investment deals. I'm going to be able to transition my products and services to my customers. I'm going to make a pledge to my business to access the support when I need it and the advice when I need it. I'm a business coach, but I have 3 business coaches. I'm a business advisor, but I have 2 advisors. That means that I'm always growing, because my mindset that I have to reach $1 million a year of income means that I need to be working with someone that's making 10 million a year. And I need to know someone that's making 100 million a year. So I can elevate my thinking about not just my business, but the service and its delivery. So if you're looking for a coach, make sure your coach has a coach, because we should all be growing. And it's about being competitive. Yes, we want to be creative, but we want to be competitive. So you've made the investment and you made a decision that you're going to have this business, that you're going to reopen, that you're going to rebuild realistically. So you need to change your focus and become more entrepreneurial. You're not an employee anymore. People aren't telling you what to do. You're telling yourself what to do. And if things aren't getting done, it's because you didn't give yourself instructions, right? And so I'm gonna just be real with you, and we've got to focus again on our customers, but focus on building sustainable businesses. Be willing to learn, adapt, innovate, but most importantly, stay competitive. So what does that mean for us right now? Did you cut your personal spending because of COVID? Did you look at some things that you weren't using, or platforms that you needed to acquire? Did you monitor how much debt you were acquiring? Or did you go sign up for every loan that was offered to you because of COVID? Did you need it? Have you spent it all? How are you going to repay it? Have you recognized where you're being hesitant? Whether it's mindset, whether it's value, whether it's modeling. Awareness is just the first step. But if you're not aware, you're in denial. How are you advocating yourself for your business? I spent a lot of time during COVID doing a lot of advocating for small businesses, small minority businesses, because I realized that they didn't have a voice. They were stressed and overwhelmed by the impact of having to close their shops at the last minute. And so I pivoted in the direction of the Chamber of Commerce, saying to them, hey, we need to do more for small businesses, and being an advocate. That was a great outlet for me because I was very angry. But you also want to run your business as though someone can come and write you a check for your business tomorrow to leave it. Are you running your business in a way where if somebody wanted to come and buy it from you, they can do that? Are you going to have to spend 3 weeks talking to a lawyer, trying to find your processes, trying to find your contracts, trying to get things in trademark, trying to brand stuff? Are you running your business so that if somebody wanted to walk up you today and write you a check, they can do that, and you can turn over your business to them? That's how you want to run your business. That's what it means to be business, to have a business continuity perspective. That's what it means to be ready to be reopened. Right? Okay. 4th lesson, don't be afraid of digital. There's a digital energy, and you have to, if you're not digital, you're going to close your business. If COVID doesn't teach you anything, that if your business is not digital, your business will not last. And it doesn't matter what kind of business it is. Even charities are on Instagram. Thank you, Bluegate. Everyone is there. And there was a resistance before COVID for a lot of businesses to move digital. They say, I don't want to do it. I don't want to, it costs too much. I don't have the time for investing. I don't have the time to learn it. Now, if you're not digital, if you're not incorporating digital elements or systems or processes into your business, you are missing out on your competitive advantage. Okay. What does that mean for you? It means that you need to look at, are you being a digital leader or a digital laggard? Are you transforming your business to be more digital? If you have a website, is it more than just a brochure on a website? If you have a social media presence, is it more than just posting and reposting other people's content? Are there things within your business that can be automated? Are you connecting your business applications? Are you working from 5 different devices and using 17 different logins? Are you floating in the cloud? Are you hoping that the server works the next time you log onto your computer? Are you responding to new data laws? Because if you've got customers, if you're in Europe, or you're servicing customers in Europe, you've got to change the way you do business, because the laws have changed and they are enforcing these laws, and businesses are playing. If they can go after Apple for $65 million for breaches on GDPR, what makes you think that you'll be exempt? Right? So things are changing. And it means that if we don't change with the tide, we are going to get lost and drown in the ocean. And I don't want to be a bearer of bad news because I'm a bearer of hope. And I believe in new systems and new processes. And there's new ways that you can go about doing this. I believe in hiring interns. I believe in working with young people and resourcing it. But I believe in having a perspective that's realistic and that's oriented towards saying, I will build better than I was before COVID. And I will make sure that it's sustainable for my family and brings in a livelihood that I can live off of comfortably. I'm making that decision. Are you? So there's different ways that we can approach being digital, whether it's sales and marketings, whether it's how we interact with our customers. Before I even go into any of that, I want to just give you some examples. So in terms of general automation, are you using G Suite? If you're doing if you're making bookings and you're scheduling appointments in your business, there's things like Calendly and Setmore. A lot of these have freemiums that will allow you to use them initially, and then if you really like it, you can pay for it. For project management, have you heard of Trello or Slack or Teamwork or Monday.com? If you're working with remote teams in different locations. Right now, I'm working on a couple of proposals, and I'm about to wrap those people that are working on a proposal into the project management because I can't corral everybody, but we've got moving parts. In terms of marketing, are you incorporating Google Ads and SEOs in your website so that when someone Googles your business, they find you on the top? Because if they got to find you 3 pages in, they're not going to find you. You heard me? If they're Googling your business and they can't find you within 3 pages, they're not looking anymore. So you've got to make those investments, at least know what investments to make. In terms of social media, there's things like Hootsuite and Buffer that'll help you in terms of managing your social media content. If you haven't heard of Canva, come to one of my Canva classes. I will teach you how to use Canva and save 3 weeks out of your month doing social media content, doing business proposals, doing the content that you need to make yourself look professional, because you're not competing with just the people in your local market anymore. COVID has made the world your global marketplace. And that access, if you fall asleep on it, you may not ever wake up again, because this is an opportunity that we have not seen any other time. Right? So access matters. If you're building contracts and you're building agreements and you need help with that, look at Jot Forms, a great platform that allows you to do editable PDFs. You just put in your details and it sends off the contract to the people that need it. Right? In terms of finance, yeah, there's QuickBooks and FreshBooks and Sage, but if you're a person like myself that needs help administratively, I use Receipt Bank. Take a picture of the receipt, upload it once a month, and it's right over to my bookkeeper. I ain't got to worry about no Excel spreadsheets no more. I ain't got no time for that. My time costs money. Honey, value your time. What is your time worth? Right? If you're selling online, are you looking at Sellify, Shopify, ClickFunnels to help drive that traffic? So there's different ways that we can approach being digital. The point that I want to drive here is that you need to be digital, right? And the best way to do it, look at it from a virtual assistant perspective. Maybe you need to hire someone to do that to help you. Maybe it's your booking system. Maybe it's sending documents. Find one area of your business that you can focus on making digital and building process around and work with that. It could be just uploading all of your documents into G Suite and organizing your Google Drive for your business. That will save you time and headache when something happens and having to look for an insurance policy or finding the contact details for your manufacturer of your equipment when it breaks down, right? So this, again, it's saving you time, energy, money, but it's also positioning your business for success, okay? The lesson number, and in the interest of time, I'm just going to fire through this. Please let me finish, Tulani. Lesson number 5, create a damn business continuity plan. Yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm going to say the cuss word. Create a damn business continuity plan. Because if you do nothing, if you do that business continuity plan, it helps you look at your entire business. And I'm finding that people that at least have a business continuity plan, when it comes to making a strategy document, they pull from it. When it comes to making another business plan for a business model, they pull from it. When it comes to making an investor proposal, they pull from it. Because you've prepared for the unexpected, right? You've looked at the risk. You've considered your functions. You've mapped your processes. You've seen what your resources are. You know what those resources are. It's no longer a game, and the responsibility ultimately falls on you. So we've got to be accountable, right? So here, quick list: business documents, your customer list, your providers, if you've got a shop front, your insurance contacts, a lot of Black businesses, and this is not just in Europe. Black businesses in America, Black businesses all over the continent did not have business insurance. So when COVID happened, they didn't have an insurance that they can tap into for business closures that were outside of their control. Imagine if you had that type of insurance and 60% of the impact that COVID caused to your business was reimbursed to you, no questions asked, because you were willing to pay 20 euros a month, $50 a month to have that insurance coverage. So it's about knowing your business, but protecting your business, protecting the viability of your business. Okay. What is this here? I won't go into the downtimes because that's more about business continuity. But the sixth lesson is your mindset is everything. Focus on what matters. Make a decision to plan to reopen. Make a decision to create new pathways to look at opportunity, new pathways to build your business better. But make that commitment to rebuild and reopen better than you were before. There's a difference between having a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. If you're looking at it and you're in shock mode, don't worry, I can talk you through shock. We all go through shock, but it's about our mindset. If we're looking at the challenge and avoiding it, if we're looking at the obstacle and giving up, if we're looking at the effort and saying it's fruitless and it's worthless, then we're not of the mindset that is required to reopen and to rebuild and to be resilient. It's your mindset that matters more than anything else. There are going to be internal and external drivers. There's going to be internal and external barriers. We are women and we are capable of enduring and facing anything that we face. We are built for trauma. If you look at a woman go through childbirth and how her body changes, you know that we are genetically and biologically built for trauma and change. How much more should we have that type of energy and positioning for our businesses, right? So the mindset means being reflective, reflecting and saying, okay, I can anticipate certain things. I'm going to have to respond to certain things, but creating the time and the space in order to do that, right? Understanding that opportunities are time contingent. The opportunity that COVID provides for us is coming to an end. The opportunity to change our businesses is also coming to an end. But if we have that awareness and we make sure we access the necessary supports, we can respond much more differently. And we can seize that opportunity because it's seasonal, but it's always around us. And it means that we have to have our feelers up because there's things that we can be hearing from our customers that we can provide. There's things that we can be seeing in the marketplace that no one else can do but you, that we can give. There's things that we can be watching. And so opportunity is all of those things, but it requires us to be prepared and ready to act. So opportunity is created by those who aren't afraid to seize it, right? And one of the sayings that I love from Madam C.J. Walker is, I didn't wait for opportunities. I made opportunities for myself. That's a different mindset. So mindset is everything. When we and there's a tool called mind mapping. If you're a person that's an abstract thinker, look up mind mapping. That's a good way to start at least getting your ideas onto paper, giving it some visualizing it, and then organizing it. God tells us if we don't write the vision and make it plain, that's the reason why we're perishing. What is the vision that you've set forth for your business? Can you commit it to paper? And can you build around it? That mindset is also meaning that we're going to look at the way that we build our business and how we market them, how we sell them, and how we deliver our services. Because the mindset is going to determine the pace that we give to it, the sense of urgency that we give to it. It's going to determine how much grace we have with our customers and with ourselves. It's also going to determine our enthusiasm about our businesses. And most importantly, that mindset is going to be what attracts the right clients and the right opportunities to us. Mindset is everything. Last but not least, learning how to write. This is a skill we all learned in school, and this is a skill that we have to uncover. A lot of the proposals that you're going to need to write, a lot of the content that you're going to need to write, a lot of the business deals that you're going to want to enter into are going to require you to learn this critical skill again. And this is something that we also cover. Is your writing clear and concise? Are you delivering what you're trying to deliver? Does it prompt action and inform people? Are you communicating with a purpose? That's what business writing is. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, you're going to have to do some form of writing. So if this isn't your strong suit, hire out. I'm all for outsourcing. But if it's something that you can learn to do, which we all can learn to do, we need to learn it. And I've seen a lot of businesses pass up funding that they're eligible for because they couldn't sit down long enough to write out an application about their business. I've seen businesses literally pass by tens of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of euros, because they couldn't sit down and write about their business. You have to know how to articulate your business verbally and on paper. It is critical. And I don't want to pretend like it's not, because I'd be doing a disservice to you, right? So there's 4 types of business writing, whether you're giving instructions, whether you're giving information, whether you're persuading people, someone to buy it or to invest. If you're just giving information in between delivering your projects and your services, all of that writing matters. And there's different forms of business writing, but they're all the same. You have to know who you're talking to. You got to ask the very first question: who is going to read this? What is it that I want them to know? What is it that I want them to do? I need to think about it. Doing a business is a thinking activity. And unfortunately, for a lot of entrepreneurs, for a lot of us, we like to do and not spend the time that we need to think about what we're doing. So I'm going to encourage you to not just reflect, but to think, and think strategically. Think first about what you want to write and draft. I draft all the time. The first proposal I sent out looks better than the 10th proposal. God bless them for approving that first proposal, because it was a mess. But I get better with everyone that delivers, right? So save yourself time and energy by acquiring this core and critical skill, right? So just to recap, 7 lessons: be ready to recover. Know the heartbeat of your business. Be realistic as you're looking at rebuilding, rebranding, pivoting, doing whatever it is that you're doing. Know that digital energy is required in this post-COVID world, and that you need to create a damn business continuity plan, and that your mindset is going to determine everything that you will see and how you respond to every adversity that you will face. And it may be COVID today, but it can be a fire tomorrow. It can be a business investor getting ready to invest in your business, and you're not ready because you didn't bother to write it down. So the impact and the output and business writing matters, right? Business writing matters. So there's a course that like I mentioned, we're coming out with. It's coming June the 21st. We should be opening up pre-bookings for that course. It's a high ticket item. So the course is $1,500, but in that course, it includes actual instruction. We do workshops, and then we have group coaching as well as individualized coaching. I'm also doing ready to reopen assessments, where I work with you in your business over the course of 3 sessions to really just see, is it ready and primed to be reopened? And I'm giving to the members of this group 50% discount on that service. So these are my details. Get in contact with me. Don't be afraid to reach out to me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, or find me on the hallways of Clubhouse. I host 2 rooms every week on Ready to Reopen on Clubhouse. So if you're on Clubhouse, you can find me there as well talking to business owners and just strategizing with them in non-judgmental discussions about where they're going with their business. So I want you to be encouraged, but be motivated and inspired to act, to not just think, but to act and make the commitment to yourselves to build sustainable, viable businesses in 2020. What year is this? 2021 and beyond.
Thank you so much, Alexis. Brilliant. Very, very informative. And you can see the comments coming at you there. And I hope people will be able to link up with you afterwards. Now, where we are pivoting to at HergenuityAfrika is actually to begin to work mostly with our subscribed members. So that's just information for you. Coming up to June, we're coming up to June now, we'll be passing out the information on how to be subscribed, because we're going to be kind of streamlining the things that we offer, the services that we offer, only to, to those who see the value that we're bringing. So we have a few people here in the room, and these are nuggets that hundreds of euros would need to be paid for before they can access it. So
Absolutely.
absolutely, and I don't want to say that we are used to getting things for free, but maybe.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you this, ladies. To be honest with you, I don't do anything for free anymore, with the exception of a few things that Tulani will ask me to do on occasion, because it's not just me knowing that how much my time is worth, but
Yes,
knowing that the value. People don't appreciate the
perceived
value until
value.
they separate from cash. And
Absolutely.
even if I ask them for €5 to get the checklist off of my link tree, they're going to pay that €5, and you best believe they're going to download that checklist and use it just because they paid something. So
Absolutely.
we've got to change our mindset about this thing called money, because the more we hold on to it, the more it will run away from us. When we let it flow freely and we release it and we release our creativity and we release our passion with it, it will attract to itself its equivalent and bring back even more. But we got to operate in faith in order to do that.
Absolutely. And I'm just seeing that Peter say money is not a dirty thing. Money doesn't even have any characteristics or any character. Money is, shall I say, is inanimate. Money is an object. It takes on the character of whoever is handling it at any point in time. So if you have a righteous man handling money, money will be used righteously. You have a terrible person, wicked person, who use money. It's the same thing as power.
Absolutely. And we can't be afraid of it. And that's one thing I will say when I'm coaching Black women. We don't value ourselves and we're afraid to handle money. So I'm so pleased to see the work that I think her name is Beatrice is doing in terms of the financial space, because we've got to change the way we look at money for our businesses. Loans, capital investments, valuation, we've got to understand these terms because it positions our businesses for success. And we can't be afraid of what the numbers are saying. If you don't know what your value of your business is, if you don't know how much your turnover is, if you don't know what your expenses look like, you're operating a hobby, not a business.
Absolutely. And a lot of times, I first found these days people are so centered on social media. I want to be on social media, but the intricate things that have to do with our businesses and how it's going to really deep down and then scale up, we're not paying attention. It's all about social media. And, social media is great. Don't get me wrong.
It is.
It's
But it has
absolutely
a place.
fantastic, but everything should have its place and everything should have its purpose and should be linking directly into why we are in business. And I remember waking up this morning and praying and saying, Lord, please, Lord, give me the kind of entrepreneurs that would have the passion to create wealth and the passion to create jobs, because I look at things from a multi-generational perspective. I want to build businesses that my children can inherit.
Absolutely.
Not businesses for myself. I'm not in business for the short term, but because I like being called entrepreneur. I think all the time about what I can leave for my children. The Bible says powerful.
A wise man leaves an
A
inheritance
wise
for his
man leaves
children's
an
children.
inheritance for his children's
Right.
children. So
And
that's
there's a difference between building a legacy and building a dynasty. Are you
absolutely.
interested in building a legacy where people will just know you for doing X, Y, and Z? Are you building a dynasty based off of a vision that your children and your nieces and nephews and your brothers and sisters can tap into and propel multi-generationally? What
Absolutely.
is your number? What
Absolutely.
is your number? What is your freedom number? What's
Absolutely.
the number that you need to make this year, this month, this week,
Mhm.
in order to say that I'm on the path to building a
Absolutely.
successful business? And we cannot be afraid to have those conversations in
Mhm.
transparency. Because if you're
Absolutely.
not honest with yourself, you're not doing your business any service and you're not doing yourself any service.
Absolutely. And I love the way you're saying it, because I'm thinking numbers all the time. I'm thinking, how much is my business worth? How much do I want to make this month? Do I want to make this year for me to be able to say, this is it? Because Alex,
Absolutely.
we were talking about the proposal we're working on now, and we're saying they need us to have a certain amount of money in our
And
as
our turnover, we
for
need to
us
be
to be
so,
able.
and imagine that. Like, so there's opportunities now, and if you
Yes.
can't show and demonstrate that you've got the capacity to do the work, they're
Mhm.
not going to give it to you,
And
even
you
if
have
you
the
do
skill
have the
set, you have the
capacity and the
competence, we
skills.
have the people, we have the expertise, but they're looking at the numbers.
Right, right.
And
So
they
I mean,
say,
so
you
it
have
like it,
enough.
and this is where partnerships and collaborations matter. And
Absolutely.
it's about saying, and I said to you, Tulani, I don't need to have access to the 500,000 that
Mhm.
they're looking for in order to bid this contract. I need to know someone who's got access to that 500,000 so they can write me into that proposal. You
Mhm.
get me? And so it's not just about working from our networks are our net worths. So if
Absolutely.
you're looking to your left and looking to your right, and you're the smartest in your group, you need a bigger group. If you're looking to your left and looking to your right, and you're the one that's making the most money, you need more
Mhm.
friends. If you're looking to your left and you're looking to your right, and no one else is committed
Alexis,
passionately
don't
to
give it
your
all
growth,
away. Don't give it
come
all
on
away.
now.
Our ladies are ready to pay for it. Don't give it all away. As you said, you say, I don't give anything away for free anymore. Of course, we have to do things for free, because that's where we build goodwill, and we get people to understand where our expertise is. I was talking to somebody, I was actually wrote a proposal for a CLG, a non-for-profit organization, and they said, oh, this is how much our other people, this is how much they quote for us. And I just didn't say anything. This is how much I quote. And if
Right,
you want me, this is how much you should pay me.
right.
That's a
And
rent.
then you're quiet,
And
and you let the
just
negotiations
no,
stand. You
I'm not going to
silence.
negotiate.
Girl,
I'm
there's so many techniques. Absolutely. Thank you,
So
ladies.
we need to learn some things, and I'm just so passionate about Hergenuity Africa. It was this vision that was born of my own experiences and the experiences that others have shared with me about what it means to be a Black woman in this world, in Ireland, in other places, and the challenges that we face. But I'm saying we can flip that and saying they're not challenges, but they're opportunities. We're
Absolutely.
holding them so firmly and saying we are shaking those
Absolutely.
opportunities for us as people of African descent to really become business leaders.
Absolutely. And I will echo that sentiment and tell you, this is going to be the decade of the Black woman.
Yes.
Mark my words, this is the decade of the Black woman. And not just her experience here in Europe, but her experience on the continent,
Mm,
because by 2025, 60% of small and medium businesses will be owned and operated by women
amen.
in 2025 on the continent. If that doesn't smell like opportunity, I don't know what does.
And we have just a few more years to.
Huh?
So
And we're looking at Camila in the States as a VP. We're looking at the UN appointments of a number of women of African descent. This is the decade of the Black woman. We gotta rise up and take our throne. And that's gonna be across the board, socioeconomically and politically. So stand in
celebrate,
solidarity. I stand in
celebrating all
solidarity
you
with you.
wonderful women. Absolutely. Celebrating all you wonderful women. Thank you so much. We've kept you for 19 extra minutes. I like to,
No
yes,
apologies.
Alexis, that's you. I like to give.
That's my I'll take responsibility for that one. I hope the information was worth the
Oh,
delay,
absolutely.
and I felt compelled to just fire through the PowerPoint. Sorry if I didn't spend any time taking the questions and things like that, but I felt like you needed to see the full picture of the information to get your mind right around what is business continuity, but what it means for you and your businesses. So we can, send me an email, contact me. Tulani, you have my contact details, and we can go from there.
Well, Alexis, you are on the HGA WhatsApp platform. We probably will be moving beyond WhatsApp now, but anyway, for now you are there and people can reach out to you. As I said to you, we are come June, we're going to be talking more about subscriptions, and we're going to be saying and it's going to be nothing major, nothing big initially, but something affordable for entrepreneurs, just because we want to say, okay, if they benefit in being part of the HGA network, then put your money where your mouth is. Isn't that something? I almost said praise God, but anyway, praise God.
Always. I think we can say that liberally, even amongst our Muslim systems. Praise Allah.
I was this was many years ago. I was emceeing at a corporate event, and then I said, praise the Lord. I tell you, I was like, what should I do now? But anyway, I can laugh about it now. But when you're used to saying something every time, it just becomes a part of you. So thank you very much, ladies. The room is still open. If you want
Are there any questions? Like, do we want to take any questions?
Well,
I figure if somebody's staying, they must have a question or a comment or something.
They'll tell you at the back.
Okay, they'll tell me in the back end.
I'm just going to sign off now and say, please follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. We are on LinkedIn, we are posting, and we're all constantly think about ways in which we deliver value to our group of entrepreneurs, and looking, of course, for more people to join the network, because I believe the more we are, the more we're able to learn and share, the more we see opportunities for collaboration, the more we inspire one another. People are going to start hearing about the power of the African woman. That's what Hergenuity is about, redefining the African woman. We want to reposition ourselves. We want to rebrand ourselves for who we really are. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you, Tulani.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you. The room is still open. The room is definitely still open.